So genetics of the viral shift. There are two very important phenomena which are needed to be studied. One is the viral shift and other is the viral drift. What are these phenomena? How they are acting? They are concerned with the mutations of the viruses. We have already studied that viruses are very clever microorganisms. They are capable of adapting themselves according to the environment, according to the host environment, according to the external environments. So these two phenomena play a very important role in these adaptations during the mutations. One is the antigenic shift and other is the antigenic drift. We will see the antigenic shift, what is the antigenic shift and what are its genetics. Actually, antigenic shift is a process by which the two viral strains, or maybe the one strain, the two different strains, or maybe two different viruses, they will be combined with each other and they will make a new pathogen, will make a new strains of the virus, and which will be just new for the body of the organism, body of the host, and that's why they will be very successfully in making and they're constructing their own way. So antigenic shift is the process by which two or more or the different strains of the viruses or strain of two or more different virus combined to form a new subtype having a mixture of the surface antigens of the two or the more original strains. This will be results into emergence of the new strains, or this will be emergence in the new pathogen which will be new for the immune response of the host. That's why the virus will get the niche of this. They will get the advantages of making the new strains, maybe because of the mutations. Here we can see the antigenic shift, or this is also called as reassortment, making the rearrangement. You can say that making the virus in some new arrangements. Here you can see just the very simple phenomena. Two different strains of the viruses are here. Here we have shown it with the different colors of the virus. Two different strains of the influenza virus. You can say one is H1N1, another one is H3N2. They can infect the same healthy cells here. The viral genetic material is exchanged during the replication. Of course, during the replication, both of these viruses are infecting the same healthy cell, and inside the cell they are replicating. Of course, they have taken action, they have taken the machinery of the host cell, and now they are replicating by themselves. Inside the healthy cell there are the genetic material, there are the nucleic acids of both of these are present. So at the time of the virus assembly, some of these can be just combined with each other, just like here, and it will be the color difference is clear that they will be reassorted by themselves, and the reassorted virus is released from the cell. The reassorts nucleic acid of one or the genetic material of one has been transferred to the genetic material of the other, and then in this way they can give us the new strains. This new virus may be capable of cross-species transmission, which is very important for the virus to be for the virus niche, which is the advantage of the virus to avoid it from the host cell immune responses. This is the antigenic shift is very important for the pandemics. If that virus, the new virus, will be infecting now the host, and it will be the new antigen, which will be, and it is very important for the pandemics. Existing virus undergo the change, and now it has emerged as a new pathogen, introduced a new pathogen in the environment. This is because of the mutations, and most importantly it will be the vaccine failure, because vaccines which are present in that particular area will be of course with the already present viruses, and of course if the new virus is there will be no immune responses will be produced against the new strains, and it can cause the drug failure or the vaccine failure in that particular pandemic in that area. Here we can see one more example, and the example is again with the avian influenza viruses. We can see here the both of the things, the antigenic shift and antigenic drift. These are the different strains of the avian influenza, different subtypes, different colors. Genetic shuffling is here, the nucleic material will be, and they will be combined with each other, and new subtype of influenza A will be here, and there is an antigenic drift which will be the random mutation, and new influenza strains will be here. This is just structure just to understand the antigenic shift and antigenic drift phenomena. Now, the antigenic shift is very important for the emergence of the new viral strains. It is a pathway that viruses follow to enter a new niche, which is important for the advantage of the virus. As we have already studied that what is the cleverness of the virus, this is the mutation. Because of the mutations, this is one more advantage of the viruses, that they can be just combined with each other and they can give us a new pathogen. It could occur with the primate viruses and may be the factor for the appearance of new viruses in the human species, just like the immune deficiency virus. A human immune deficiency virus, the HIV, is also very important. However, the HIV virus does not go reassortment, does not go itself as the antigenic shift, but it can combine freely via the superinfection, and HIV can produce recombinant HIV strains which can differ significantly from their ancestors and which will also give us the niche to that specific kind of the virus.